Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back for a Kashtira deck profile, deck update. Had a small tournament that I competed in yesterday on Thursday. It was 23 players, 4 rounds. I was able to secure 5th place, going X1 with 1 single round loss out of the 4 total rounds. The first round 1 was against a Snake Eyes Pure. That was 2 games. I won flat out. Round 2 was against Voiceless Voice. That was 3 games. And that was my only match loss. Round 3 was against a Manadium deck. That was 2 games, and I won that round flat out. And the final and 4th round was a Snake Eye Fire King deck. That was 2 games, and I won that outright. So overall, 5th place. If you, for that particular tournament, if you go X1 or better, you top and you get store credit. So pretty cool stuff. And this is the current deck list that I did that with. Starting with main deck monsters. 1 Ogre, 2 Scareclaw, 2 Rise Heart, triple Nibiru, triple Shifter, trip Ash, trip Fenrir, and triple Unicorn. One thing I will say about the monster lineup, I was really nervous about running Nibiru. As you guys are probably well aware, Nibiru suffers terribly by having a body on the board that's not a Kashtira monster. There's mixed feelings kind of in the meta right now as the effectiveness of this versus Snake Eye. Obviously, Snake Eye is the powerhouse deck of the format currently, and I've heard mixed reviews about this card, so I decided to be bold, experiment with it. I'll be honest with you, pretty much every single game too, it was an instant side out because I just got way too nervous about being clogging up my field with the Nibiru. Didn't drop a single rock, so I had it in all 4 rounds. Game 1 at 3, just did not use it whatsoever. So with my updated list, I've decided that the risk outweighs the reward, so I will be cutting it, and I will be showcasing my new build after this. Everything else, as far as the mon sign-up, performed very well. Only 3 trap cards, Macrocosmos mained. For the main deck magic cards, 1 Sacred Sword of the 7 Stars, 1 Talents, 4th Planet Search, 1 Called By, 2 Prosperity, 2 Theosis, triple Dimensional Fissure, triple Birth, and, of course, triple Planet. For the extra deck, 3 Shang, 2 Big Eye, 2 Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon, 2 Dark Arm the Dragon of Annihilation, 1 Draco Sack, 1 Zeus, 1 Sky Crisis, 1 Little Knight, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 Baron. For the side deck, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Cosmic Cyclone, triple Anti-Spell Fragrance, 1 Rivalry of the Warlords, 1 Kashtira Preparations, 3 Evenly Matched, and 3 Lava Golem. So that was the deck that caught me 5th place and topped in the yesterday tournament. Now, there is a current updated build that I would like to show you guys. I'm missing 1 card from the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty much the same, except for a couple changes in the synchro lineup. So for the updated list, 3 Shang, 2 Red Eyes, 2 Big Eye, 1 copy of Dark Armed, 1 Draco Sack, 1 Zeus, 1 Sky Crisis, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Baron, and these 2 were cut for a Ready Red Rose, I believe it's called, Ruddy Rose Dragon. That's still in the mail. I have my original Secret First coming in the mail, but that is going to be the second synchro, and then the final synchro is Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Qingying. This is super good. Obviously, I run a lot of removal cards, so you can proc spot removal with this card. It can help remove cards prevalent already in the graveyard. Pretty big, 3,000, and it gets attack boost for removed cards. Really, really strong. Of course, it synergizes as a level 10, so any one of the hand traps plus a level 7 cash card gives you an instant 10. So that is all 15 for the new lineup for the extra deck. The side deck was essentially still the same for the most part. 3 Lava Golem, 3 evenly matched for going second. For going first, protect your floodgates against back row hate, besides evenly matched. Anti-spell. The 1 preparations, 1 rivalry, 3 cosmic, and the 1 duster. Again, with the updated list, no imperm. 3 Cosmos is the only trap in the main. For hand traps, it was, of course, triple Ash, triple Shifter, triple Bell. Ideally, if you run into those pesky branded players that try to puppet lock you, you can set the puppet lock with this, and this is very, very strong against Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes does a lot of special summoning from the graveyard if you don't get your graveyard manipulation first, so I personally opted for triple Ghost Bell because Snake Eyes is kind of the big enemy right now currently. And then for the rest of the monster lineup, it did switch back to triple Rise Heart for the updated list. I missed Rise Heart, so I bumped Rise Heart back to 3. I just can't get around this card. It's just too much of a combo starter. Really, really good. Had the room, so back on 3 Rise Heart. Of course, the 2 playsets, triple Unicorn, triple Fenrir, double Scareclaw, and the single Ogre. The Magic card lineup is where it changes quite significantly. So, of course, it was still standard 3 planet. Only 2 birth on this build. Kind of risky to take out the 3rd one. We do have preparations in the side, but 2 birth and 2 Theosis. This is a little scary, but the reason why I decided to do 2 and 2 is just because it decreases the chance of the brick rate, which is really, really critical. This deck should, for the most part, win flat out in this format, considering the strong decks of the format and needing the graveyard. But if it bricks, you're really going to be in a hard place. So 2 and 2, you have to really conserve your resources, but it allows you to decrease the brick rate, which is critical. Still, the triple playset of Dimensional Fisher. This card is so strong. No one is going to tell me any difference. This locks down Valor, Droll specifically, and also Crow. No one's really going to use Crow against you in Kashtira, but it's big in Snake Eyes, against Snake Eyes, so people have it. Might as well just render your opponent's cards useless. And then for the one-ofs, this gets really interesting pretty quickly here. One card destruction, hand reset, so if you happen to unfortunately get that brick hand, you can drop this and completely reset your hand. Sometimes it's a little scary because you can give your opponent some resources in the graveyard, but when you don't, it works out and it completely lets you recharge your hand and gives you kind of a second chance to go off here. Apologize, I'm looking for one more card that I pulled out. I don't know where it is. I don't know where I put it, but moving on here. The Sacred Sword. Again, I've explained it before for those who haven't seen my videos before. It's a hard once per turn, so you only want to run one, but it's really strong. If you have your Ogre, your Unicorn, your Fenrir, you basically special proc search effect. After you do your search effect, gain that utility box resource, you proc this, you can remove this from play, and then you have your field open to special summon another one from your hand. It doesn't have to be from the field. You have the choice of banishing a level 7 from the field or from the hand. Obviously, if you do it from the hand, it's nice if you have birth or preparations to get that fodder back. Of course, the Called By, the 4th Planet, Search, a 1 triple Tactics. I don't really like this card because it's very dependent of your opponent doing something on your turn to proc it off. However, ideally, it's either used for the Pot of Greed draw power, but more ideally, it's going to be used for the hand rip to get rid of the Nibiru, so you have access to 5+ summons. And the last and final card is Foolish Burial. My deepest apologies. I had one out here. I'm not sure where it was. That was one of the spicy tech choices. It's kind of interesting because obviously we are running 3-dimensional Fisher and maining 3 Cosmos, and then of course maining 3-dimensional Shifter. So you're thinking, okay, well, why are you running Foolish Burial? It's never going to hit the graveyard. Well, that's kind of the whole point. Kashtira monsters do not need to hit the graveyard. We want to ideally get them removed from play, and we gain access to them with our birth or our preparations, depending on what game state, because obviously I side the preparations because I was getting really, really tired of losing the dice roll and opening both preparations and the one of Ogre. This is a super neg. You never want to see this. It's almost as bad as drawing 3 Theosis. You don't want to see it. You ideally want to just open this so you can search this. I move this to the side because I want to make sure I'm going first to use this card, so at least if I do happen to unfortunately randomly get both of them, at least I can set and activate the preparation right away immediately on my opponent's turn and not have 2 dead draws in my hand. So that is the current updated list. Obviously I'm running Foolish Burial, but some magic goblin stole it, and I'm not really sure where it is, but that is the new current lineup. It has not been field tested yet. It's very, very experimental. I'm going to, more than likely, the first test will probably be this Sunday. There's a local tournament that's very competitive, a lot of good players, so we'll get to do a field test then. So that is all for the new updated deck profile. Of course, because I got 5th place and topped the Thursday event, I got 30 bones store credit. It's a $10 entry fee, so of course we got 1 Phantom and 1 OTS 24. I did go to a small local tournament on Wednesday, which I did completely terrible in. I was doing, another experimental run build, and it did not perform. I did very, very poorly, but I was able to cop 3 OTS because that store just essentially gives you an OTS damn near every round because they just don't have a big player base, so they bribe you with OTS. So today for you, this is what I have to open. So getting started, we'll go ahead and we'll do the oldest first, which is going to be this OTS 20. Bistweller, pretty awesome common. OTS 23. Rescue Ace Preventer. OTS 24. King Tiger Wangu, pretty cool. I really like that we got a super on this. A little lackluster on the holofoiling. It's kind of hard to even tell it's a super, but kind of is what it is. It's just happy to have a holofoil in general. Very nostalgic Gen 1 card from Pharaonic Guardian. Second OTS 24. We got a Cornfield Colt Doll. This is actually, I think, the hardest super to pull. I don't know about you guys, but I've literally only pulled 2 of these ever since out of all the OTS 24 that I've opened. And for the final pack of Phantom, we have a super rare. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This has been a showcasing by Autumn's Allure. My name is the White Mexican, and I'll see you in the next video.